refreshing. You're taking your sweater off, you too, huh? Isn't that estrogen fun? Love that. So thank you very much for coming in. This is a real experience for me to help develop these beginner comics. And it's very nerve-wracking for me, I must say. I'm much more nervous now than I am when I do my own shows, because I feel like the mother of the flying Walindas. Like 6 of them. And it's their first night to try to jump from trapeze to trapeze. And there's no net, there's no smoke, there's no mirrors. They're just up here doing it. And they've only actually been on stage 4 times. It's a 6-week class, and the first week is just an orientation and overview. And the 6th week is tonight. So just a big round of applause for everybody you're going to see here tonight. You know, I put the word out in the paper, and it went out in the Insider, and out of the thousands of people that it went out to, only 6 people called. So I don't know whether to take that personally or... They're just really brave. And they say that the #1 fear of mankind is speaking in front of a crowd. And... more so than even dying. So that means the person, it's for real. It's true. So the person giving the eulogy at the funeral isn't nearly as afraid of the person that just died. So they really need to be commended for this, because it's not an easy thing. I remember before I started stand-up comedy, I used to go watch comedy a lot. And I used to sit right there and I said, I could do that. That looks easy. And then you get up here to do it and your lips just stick. It's a lot harder than it looks, but I'm really proud of them, and you're going to enjoy them very much. So thank you for coming down and supporting them. Do you have a good, oopsie daisy, I almost screwed up right there. They won't know what to do with that. we didn't go over that in class. Collapsing microphone, oh dear. So you have a good Thanksgiving, everybody? Was it good? Yeah, you look full. You still got like a little turkey hangover look going on. Yeah, we ate. They don't call it stuffing for nothing. In fact, I was just getting ready to go on stage, and one of the girls goes, "Hey, Kat, you got your loop hanging out. Where is she? She was in the bathroom with me." Well, not in the bathroom with me, you know, we were out. "Where is that gal? Where are ya? You came here to see Evelyn. Where are you? The blonde gal. There you are." She goes, "Your loop is hanging out." And I go, "Oh, yeah. That's not supposed to be hanging out?" I thought it was like an accessory or something. Hang your keys on it. It'd be great, especially during the holidays, if you could have like an emergency weight gain ripcord, wouldn't it? Sitting around that table, 3rd and 4th helpings, 120, 130, 140, 150, pull! So I'll be tucking that in now. Yeah, don't worry, these things didn't get slammed in the door. Everybody goes, "Oh, your pants, you got a big rip." No, it's fashion. And I also dust the house with them, and I fan menopausal women with them.
Thank you.
Don't get me started. So by round of applause, how many of you did go home for the holidays for Thanksgiving? Wow! I thought it was just my family. Because you know the holidays just bring out that party, don't they? It's like when I go back to my family, it's like being on a dysfunctional game show. It's like I can name that feeling in 2 passive-aggressive comments. What did you really want to say? And of course we have all those fun family games like spin the empty scotch bottle. Hello, is this on? And instead of hide and seek, we just play hide. Oh, yeah, Daddy! No, my parents are great though. My mom and dad they're getting older, and my mom's got like the Alzheimer's thing going on, so it's kind of sad, and my dad's deaf, so trying to call is like, who the hell are you going to talk to? The one that can't talk or the one that can't remember? And my mom's going so blind, and it's kind of a good thing, because, you know, she can't see my dad going. They're just great. Sitting around that table was special. And my dad's got those new hearing aids, you know. Anybody else got the hearing aids in here? Is this okay? Hey, Bill. My dad's got the hearing aids, and he can't ever get them in. I call home the other night, and I hear him grumbling, because he doesn't talk. He just goes, 2 o'clock, I don't know what. You can't understand him, you know. But I hear him grumbling in the background. I go, "What is Dad saying?" She goes, "Oh, your father can't get the damn hearing aids in, so he's coating them with a canine jelly first." don't leave them out on the counter because apparently they're like a little pot sticker for the cat. Cats just love them. The cat ate them, and now my mom is every day going through the kitty litter. Because we're just that cheap at my house. We're not sure what my dad has in his ears right now. Although every once in a while he breaks into a round of meow, 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 meow. Oh God, you're a great audience. Thank you very much. It feels warm in here to me. I don't know. Is it warm? No. Okay, just me. So how many of you had to drive through our new little roundabout to get here tonight? Anybody? Were you happy with that? Hi, how are you? You're hiding behind your arms. Do you like it? You afraid your dad's gonna pick on you? What do you think about the roundabout? You like it? You don't like it?
I like it.
You sucks, you know? Sucks. You like it? Now what's the difference between these two people? What do you think? I don't know. I think we approach the roundabout the same way we live our life. I do. I mean, you can either get in the roundabout and go, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me. I'm in the roundabout, I'm in the roundabout. Because some people really don't know when they're in the roundabout, do they? I'm in the roundabout! Or you can approach it like a little bit of a community dozy-do thing. You say, like you're in the roundabout, and you're like, we're in the roundabout, we're all in here together, we're all friendly. So that means you're not very nice, right? You want to do a little dozy-do, little community experience? The next time you're there, just try to be congenial to your neighbor. Just go, I'm in the roundabout, you idiot, but go ahead. What I'm wondering about is the first time we get like 2 feet of snow. And the snow, and the guy from Caltrans, he's not familiar with it, he's driving like, ah! The hell was that, Bubba? I don't know. And the snow melts, it's peeled off, and then we get the stoplight after all. Could you be happier? So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. It's my pleasure to bring this show to you. Are you guys ready for your first performer of the evening? Are you ready to hear it? I have so enjoyed meeting this woman and having her in the class. She's brought a lot to it. Please give her a nice welcome. Karen Burns, all the way from Reno!
What I wanted to do was follow the professional comic. I used to be a professional dancer. Yeah, before you get too interested, I have to tell you it had nothing to do with the pole. When you tell someone you're a professional dancer, particularly in the state of Nevada, right away they look at you, your IQ drops to somewhere below 50, they think you are a stripper, or you're involved in porn, or that you're a high-paid call girl. And I'm here to tell you that we're not high-paid at all. But I will tell you this, that the professional dancers, the topless dancers in the cabaret shows, they make $50 more a week than the covered dancers. So they're worth $25 a piece a week if anyone ever asks you. There's a price on everything. Yes, entertainment business is obsessed with female mammary glands. Big boobs equal big bucks in this business. And in Hollywood, you don't have to be well-informed, just well-endowed. Being raised in Reno, I was not into show business whatsoever. Rather, I was going to the University of Nevada at Reno. Yes, we do have universities here. That surprises a lot of people from out of state. We have one in Reno and Las Vegas. Of course, the only thing you can major in is crap dealing and slot machine repair. But in the state of Nevada, that is higher education. I received my teaching credentials, went off and taught high school, and that's for a whole nother act. But at night I was taking dance classes because I wanted to go on the freestyle ski circuit. And ironically, one night a comedian came up to me and she said, "Look, a friend of mine is searching for someone to be in one of his production shows." I got all excited, thought, me, show business? I can't believe this. So off I trot like a fool to audition for this guy. He was kind of different. You know how those show business types can be. And he had me do a few steps. I got the job. Well, come to find out these guys were really different. They were female impersonators or drag queens. For the uninformed, a drag queen is a man that transforms himself from a man to a woman to impersonate such people as Barbra Streisand, Liza Minnelli. Of course, Cher is the big drag queen favorite. I think she's on her 10th farewell tour at this time. And you see, I was hired as the real girl in the show. I was a woman hired to portray a man, to portray a woman. to be up on stage. It's a decoy to keep the audience off balance of what is really what up there. Well, ladies, do you know what it's like to be on stage for the first time in your life and having an audience looking at you trying to decipher if you're a man or a woman? They are checking you out everywhere. And at the end of the show, they say, and now our real girl, Karen Burns, and out I come, ta-da. Inevitably, some smart mouth in the front row would say, didn't think it was her, I thought it was a good-looking brunette. I'm 22 years old, and I'm with guys that are prettier than I am. That's why I'm still in therapy to this day, one of the many reasons. You gotta remember, this is over 30 years ago before the gays came screaming out of the closet. Way before shows such as Will and Grace or Queer Eye for the Straight Eye would ever be on TV. And my parents were too thrilled with this career. You can imagine, here I had good education, teaching job, nice boyfriend, and off I ran to the East Coast with drag queens. They were not amused. Because I told my parents, he said, could be worse, could be my brother. Things can always be worse. So, anyway, the most scandalous thing I'll tell you this evening, this group's ready for it, it's like, well, physically, the guys that I worked with were all men. Well, that's up for discussion. But anyway, how do they create that ample bosom? I mean, inquiring minds want to know this stuff, right? I have an inquiring mind. What they used to do, they used to take rice, put it in a thin sock, put the rice inside the bra. Well, rice has sharp edges. When they dance, it would scratch them. Most uncomfortable, don't you know, to get those boob burns. So what they do now, they take birdseed. Listen up, ladies. They take birdseed, either a lot or a little, again, just depending on the size of chest they want, put in thin nylon socks, stick it inside the bra. Well, you see, the birdseed boobs are the perfect weight, so when they dance, it shifts with them, looks very natural. You're just stunned with this information. But I know what you really want to know is what do they do with their male equipment? Okay, now I'm going to talk really quietly because we have to keep this just amongst ourselves here, right? Well, they kind of squat, tuck, and pull back. A little bit like pigs in the blanket. Okay, that's an image I know some of you really don't want to think about. So, it's back to boobs. Everyone has their field of expertise. Mine just happens to be tits. If girls do have some sort of breast enhancement surgery, better known as a boob job, it's more for the shape than the size. And they don't go for the really big breasts anymore because if you're out there vigorously river dancing, you can flog yourself to death. It's really not not physically comfortable or aesthetically pleasing. Speaking of aesthetically pleasing, our modern day expert on the female breast is Pamela Anderson. She had him put in, she had him taken out, she had him put back in. And did you hear that her and Kid Rock, the marriage is over after 4 months? Oh, who knew? Didn't see that one coming. But anyway, she was recently interviewed about retiring. She said, well, I've thought about it, but my breasts seem to have a career of their own and I just tag along. In the same interview, she was upset that NBC cut a section of she did a pole dance for an Elton John special that was supposed to be televised, and they didn't think she had enough clothes on, so they cut that. And she angrily replied, she says, my nipples were covered, I was dressed. Yeah, I love that spirit. Anyway, the last bit of fun, frivolous, and useless information. The last time I was worried about a pickup line was over 30 years ago, and at that time it was, what's your sign? Well, now what it is, what's your porn star name? So here it goes. This is from Pamela Anderson. This is the formula. You take your first pet name, the name of the first pet you ever had, and the name of the first street you ever lived on. I know you're all thinking of it. So this is Greta Grand Canyon saying good night to you and happy trails till we see you again.
How am I doing? Okay. A little water down there, have a little chia pet. Oh, okay. I asked my son to feed the birds once about 4 years ago, and then my daughter spilled water in her bedroom. I swear to God, it's like I have grass growing in my house. Oh, good. All right, we're good. I never can eat pigs in a blanket again after that. or is there some tape involved? Really? I'm thinking they would have to just be walking like this the whole time. Anyway, one more time, Karen Burns, very, very good. And coming to the stage right now, all the way from Carson City, I've really enjoyed this next performer and his sense of humor. He's taught me a few new things that I never heard of before. I would like you please to give him a nice welcome, Mr. Richard Lindgren.
All right, so first off, I want to thank Kat for actually pronouncing my last name correctly. No one can ever seem to do that. I've had my name spelled with every letter you can imagine, including made-up letters. So, Kat, as the Spanish say, muchos gracias. So I'm a senior in high school now, and as a senior, I'm supposed to do a senior project and cut class. At least that's what I was told. So I thought about all the stuff I'm like, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to do my senior project on psychological profiling. And for those who don't know what that is, it's kind of like, have you ever seen that show, Criminal Minds?
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, it's where I analyze victims who have been killed, and then I catch the bad guys. This might sound pretty heavy for a teenager, but have you seen some of the teachers at my school? Yeah. So I told all my friends about this, and the first thing they said was, "Ooh, can you do me?" So I hang out with a bunch of girls, and the first thing I told them, because I haven't done anything yet, was, "Look, I read and hug people." And so those of you who are writing down your numbers right now, I haven't done anything yet, so. I told my sister this too, and the first thing she says is, "Oh, can you do me?" And I'm like, Rachel, two things. One, I read and hug people. Second of all, we're a family, and we don't live in Arkansas. So, while we're on the subject of family, I have to talk about my dad for a second. He tried to bribe me not to tell you where he is. He gave me $20. Unfortunately, Monopoly money is not a legal currency in Nevada, except in places like Walmart. So he's right over there recording the whole thing. Hi, Dad. Please don't kill me. No, seriously, my family's great and I love them and all. My family's never had a bad person in their life, except for me. That's because I listen to heavy metal. I mean, I didn't know listening to heavy metal made you a bad person. I mean, I'm sure you guys listen to the Beatles. You guys didn't go out and get Beatle boots. Except maybe you, Dad. So, the cool thing about listening to heavy metal is as a teenager, we're forced to go through a lot of peer pressure. But since I listen to metal, I can't even hear what other people are saying. It's really cool because when people say, "Look out for that bike," by the time I look, I'm eating spokes. And I gained a new friend at the end because he's also listening to heavy metal. And he's not imaginary this time either, so it's all good. The thing that kind of sucks about it is that people kind of lash onto the stereotype of people who listen to heavy metal. Like girls, they always say, "Ooh, he listens to metal, he must burn churches." He must not read or hug people. And then there's the teachers. Like my teacher last year, my history teacher, he put the sign on my desk that said Captain of Darkness on it. I asked him what it was for, and he said, "Well, you listen to that heavy metal stuff, you must burn churches and such." And I asked, and then I took my headphones out because I couldn't hear him, to ask him to repeat it. What is really kind of cool and sucks at the same time is people don't expect you to listen to anything else besides metal. So I had my dad, hi Dad, listen to a song that doesn't sound anything else like I'd like, and he'd say, "Richard, that doesn't sound like anything else you listen to. Are you going to kill yourself now?" No, Dad. See, he's over there going, "Shoot, I was so close too." You know, so people think you really like blood and stuff, but truth be told, I can't stand the sight of blood. In my psych class last year, we had to watch this really nasty video. I won't get into any details, but I wanted to leave the classroom to get a drink of water. Ended up passing out right in front of his door, and apparently people could hear me. The cool thing was that I got free porta subs, didn't have to pay $3.25. And when I got back to the classroom, I found my teacher putting white tape outside his door, like I was dead or something. So, yeah, that was a little embarrassing. Hold on, I got a text. It says Doomy on it. I gotta go. Duty calls.
He came to class, he was like so nervous, he didn't even look up. He just looked at the carpet because it is so lovely. Where'd you get this, from the Miss Palm Totem Palm Bill? No, it's lovely carpet. So I couldn't even look up, and then the next time he kind of looked up but not really at us, and the third time he was like out of the book, knew his act. I was like, dang, would you write for me and go on the road with me? So one more time, Richard Lindgren, 17 years old. If you need anything videoed, he's even doing funerals now. So, Richard's bar mitzvahs. Anyway, coming to the stage right now is the first person that was on my list, I believe, to do this class. I'm not even sure how he got a hold of me, but he called and wanted to know if I was teaching the class, and I was like, well, I guess I am. So I thank him sort of for the motivation of getting this this class together and going. Please give him a nice welcome. You're going to really enjoy him, Mr. Frank McDowell.
Take my notes up here. Once I found she wasn't charging, it's like, I'm not going to remember that crap.
There you go. That's going to cost you.
Thank you. Crap, sort of that next segue into my next joke. Coming into Minden, the first thing you run into is a sewer plant. And they got a restaurant across the street. with a patio. In Carson, we have prisons by them. In Minden, you guys have restaurants. Well, it's awesome. I finally made it. I'm performing in Minden. For free. I guess I better not give up my day job. One of the first jobs I had, I was an assistant manager at a toe ring booth in a mall called It was called Foot Bling. There was actually a typo. The ad said tow rig. I thought I was going to be driving around town in a tow truck wearing a wife beater. The Italian women were the worst. They always wanted the little petite toe ring, but you could never slip it over their hairy toe knuckles. Without shaving them. So I had this one lady come in. She took off her shoe. It looked like something out of Animal Planet. I didn't know if I should shoot it, shave it, or take it for a walk. By the time I was done shaving her down, it looked like Bigfoot went through chemo. Taking my experience from Italian women, I got into dog grooming. It's pretty much the same thing, just 2 more legs and a lot less hair. Whenever we get a new customer, we'd have them sign a waiver for their dog telling us that they're not going to bite for our safety. We had this crazy old lady come in. She was blind. I guess it was a seeing-eye dog. And she called him Muffin. Muffin was an 85-pound German Shepherd. She says, Muffin never bit anybody. He doesn't even growl. It wasn't 5 minutes into shaving him, he reached around and bites me. God, I was pissed. So I made a little sign for Muffin, hung it on his neck. It goes, my owner kisses me on the other end. So my next job, I got a job driving a cab. I needed the car so I could get to my real job at a skydiving school. I was an instructor for a while until my boss says, he goes, you're scaring the crap out of people. I'm like, well, what am I doing? They can hear you screaming all the way down. Well, I said, yeah, I'm afraid of heights, but it paid so well. So then he sticks me into, I was packing parachutes. And God, what an unforgiving jerk of a boss. One little mistake and he fires me. It was half price day, and I seen it with my own eyes. At least half the parachute opened. You know, if it was an Italian lady, all of her hair would absorb most of the impact. I've been thinking, wanted to get into something a little more professional. Something, when you're at your 20-year class reunion, people would say, God, you know what? Frank's really made it. Wow, who would have known? So I started selling meat out of a truck. It wasn't as much like a pickup truck as it was a converted ice cream truck. We still even had the music. In the summer, I had a blast because I'd blare the music right through the neighborhoods. Wait till you get about 10, 15 kids next to your truck with their money, sitting there drooling, snot coming out. Oh, I think I want a fudgesicle, I want a blah blah. Just floor it. I was never a kid person. Thinking back though, out of all the jobs I had, I probably deserved to get fired at this one. When they trained us, they always told us when you're going door to door selling steaks, always ask for the lady at the house. And that's exactly what I did. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, hi, ma'am. Would you like to try my summer sausage? I was thinking about law enforcement. But has anybody been following that story with the Reno Police Department? That officer had the girl undressed in the back seat of the car while he was, I guess, playing with his nightstick. The jury came back. They said he got off twice. I did a movie edition. It was sort of like a romance type movie about a baseball player. They said it was bound to have you on the edge of your seat. But once I found out the name of it, it's called Brokeback Mountain. I think they meant you could be bent over your seat. I told them I don't want anything to do with this. I go, I don't know what you guys are into. It's just not for me. This whole horseback riding, bareback riding. I remember when I was in Boy Scouts, I opted for the knot tying class. It was sort of a bondage thing I was into. All my friends went on the horseback riding, and they all came back saddle sore. It's like, I didn't even know we had horses. You do the math. So the director's saying, he goes, well, do you feel uncomfortable about this movie? I go, I thought the movie was about a baseball player. You said you guys wanted a pitcher and a catcher. Of course I feel uncomfortable. I thought I was going to be some famous baseball player and have some, hot, hairy Italian woman under my arm. He's all, well, if you feel uncomfortable, maybe we could get a stunt double. I'm all uncomfortable. You go, you want some cowboy with a Stetson riding my back? Of course I'm uncomfortable. Well, that's my set. Thank you, guys.
As he did at all these other ones. I'd like to apologize to all my hairy Italian women friends that came to the show tonight. We'll just have a little waxing party. How many people by a round of applause have done the electrolysis? Liars. Okay. I went and had this done one time. It was like, my God. It was painful. It was torture. It was heinous. It was something Hitler missed. I don't know. And then I wrote her a check. It's like, do you tip for that? I don't know. It wasn't fun. I had a bikini wax one time. Boy, that was not fun at all. I just never again had, boy. Sir, have you ever had one? Bill? No. Whoa! Yeah, she ripped that thing off. I looked down, it looked like a bleeding plucked chicken, for God's sake. I'd rather go to the beach or get on a chicken roost for Yeah, I said I'm never doing that again. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to look just like this. I do not care. I only got halfway done. She goes, well, honey, you can't go out like this. I said, the hell, I can't move it. I said, I'll look like a Cosmo girl on this side and a Field and Stream girl on this one. Pull! Anyway, you guys ready for the next performer? Are you ready? We're getting down to the wire here. Well, she has done so much work. They all have. I cannot believe how far they come in such a short period of time, and I'm really inspired by them, and I really need to start writing like them because they really blow me away. So please put your hands together for the lovely Jan Marie Brown all the way from Carson City.
Thank you. It is so nice to be here tonight. You know, for the last few weeks, I have been walking around walking on cloud 9, feeling so funny and special because Kat asked me back this year. And then I realized I paid $200 to be here. Very funny, Kat. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I was going to change before I came. But I figured I've been like this for 50 years, screw it. So I had a sandwich instead. And that just pissed me off. And now I know this has happened to you guys. But I get out the package of ham, right? And it says tear here, so that's fine, it goes okay. But then it's hermetically sealed under the little zipper thing, and I cannot open the package. I'm like pulling, and then whoosh! The damn ham goes all over the friggin' floor. So I'm like running around trying to beat the 5-second rule. And then I went to the 10-second rule. And this just became my husband's sandwich. And then I grabbed the cheese. Now the cheese also says tear here, but the sucker will not tear. I am telling you, it would not tear. So I got the scissors and I cut the cheese. But now, I cut it down so far that I can't get any leverage to pull the little Ziploc thing. I know this has happened to you, I know it has. So I cut the cheese again. I cut that Ziploc right off of there. Can't stand those things anywhere. I can't ever get them closed, can you? I can't. Never. I can't. You know what, I've given up on them. In fact, I cut the cheese all the time now. So I gave my husband a sandwich, and I go down the hall to do my hair with my new curling iron, which is encased in more plastic than Joan Rivers' face. I took one look at that plastic fortress, and I'm like, oh, hell no, I am not going through this again. Honey, would you put down that sandwich and get me the chainsaw? My husband's a good guy, though. He really is. He's handy with the chainsaw. He never complains when I give him a sandwich for dinner. He doesn't know about the 10-second rule, so it's just between us, okay? And he puts the Christmas lights up every year and manages to get them down before the property value plummets. Nothing says white trash like Christmas lights for the 4th of July. He's a really good guy, but I gotta say, the man never puts anything away. Well, you know what? That's not really fair. I shouldn't say that. He always manages to put the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition right where it goes, next to the toilet. But the man really, truly never puts tools away, honestly. He thinks nothing of a big, long drill in the bedroom or a, table saw in the kitchen, which actually does come in handy when you need to cut the cheese. Last year, he puts up the Christmas lights. And when he's done, he puts a staple gun on the counter. I decided to test him, see how long it would take him to put it away. 6 months and 9 days later, I finally put it away. Yeah. Last weekend, he goes to put the Christmas lights up. He's like, hey, have you seen the staple gun? It's not on the counter where I left it. What the bloody hell is that? I swear to God. This whole staple gun thing has really had me pissed off for the last year, I swear. So I've been torturing him every Saturday when I take my bath. guys are a little slow on that one. Anyway, I call him down to the bathroom and I stand up and I'm like, honey, do I look bad in this? It's really fun. It really is, because he gets that deer in the headlights look. He's no dummy. He knows that yes is not the right answer. But every time he says no, I start crying hysterically and go, what else have you been lying to me about? And can you believe this? Now, the friggin' staple gun is back on the counter. I swear, if he doesn't get it put away, I've got a whole new torture set up for him this year. I'm gonna make him open all the packages. He can cut the cheese. You know, excuse me? That's okay, it happens to all of us. Now, really, you know, I've been torturing my husband for a year, and I've come to believe that I'm kind of a sadistic person because I like to torture my son too. So I call him a lot. He's a good guy too, though. He's a really good kid. He eats right. He works out all the time, and he's 26 years old and has no piercings or tattoos. It's good stuff. Yeah. Now, all of his girlfriends have had tattoos. All of them. But not him. I think it's the way I brought him up. Or it could be that time when he was 12 and he got into those rub-on tattoos. Yeah. While I was scrubbing them off with a wire brush, I told him. Only sailors, bikers, and very naughty girls get tattoos. Oh, son, I need to talk to you after the show, really. Oh, goodness. But you know what, is it me, or are more women getting tattoos these days than men? I think so, don't you? I have seen women with more ink on them than a friggin' printing press. But you know what, honey? If tattoos are your thing, you go, girl, you get those tattoos. But I'm gonna give you a little motherly advice. Nobody really cares about your tats except you and the manager at Taco Bell, who's not gonna hire you. You know, this tattoo thing is going crazy. Even my 80-year-old friend Lucille got tattooed a couple of years ago. Can you believe that? That's her laughing. But you know, this tattoo thing has so gone to her head. I swear to God. She's cracking me up. No, really. Honestly, this tattoo thing has so gone to her head. It's like the same old routine every time we go out to lunch. It's like, no, Lucille, you can't take the Harley to Applebee's. And getting your eyeliner tattooed on does not mean you're a biker bitch now. You know, but I gotta tell you though, those chaps she quilted make her ass look really I love you, Lucille. Now, the other day, I saw this really big girl bending over. She was like a size 28, you know, a big girl. And she had a big tattoo on her back, too. But I wasn't looking at her tattoo. I was looking at her size 28 thong underwear sticking out of her pants. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying she was fat. I wouldn't say that. But she was very, very fluffy. About 60 or 70 pounds fluffier than me. Yeah. Size 28 thong. That is one big thong. You know, that has got to be Victoria's biggest secret yet. And personally, I'm a big girl, but I don't really see the purpose in a size 28 thong. Except I was thinking that, you know, it could come in handy maybe. You think? You know, her boyfriend could maybe borrow it in a pinch. I don't know how he's going to ask for it, though. You think it might sound like, you know, "Hey, Susie, I need to tie a load of logs to my flatbed." that thong. I think Susie's boyfriend needs to be careful though, because he might find one end of that thong wrapped around his neck and the other end wrapped around a very tall tree. Well, you know, the truth is that Susie and I both probably wouldn't be quite so fluffy if we laid off the pork chops and ate more vegetables. But my problem with vegetables is vegetarians. You know, I don't like to stereotype people, but honestly, have you ever met a vegetarian who didn't have the proverbial stick up their butt? Honestly. Or maybe it's a big carrot. But these people are so full of themselves. I heard this bragging session between these two guys. One says, I'm a PhD and I make over $1 million a year. And the vegan says, yeah, well, I'm a vegetarian. Get over yourself, come on. I mean, you know, anybody could be a vegetarian. In fact, there's only 3 things that keep me from being a vegetarian. Kentucky Fried Chicken, In-N-Out Burger, and a very strong aversion to having a stick up my butt. You know, I'm gonna go have a martini now. In fact, I'm gonna start drinking a lot more martinis because there's no packages to open. And after I've had a couple of martinis, I don't even care if I have to cut the cheese. Thank you for laughing at me. I'll be sure to laugh at you next time I see you. The electric scissors, you didn't do that, right? I didn't. You didn't? Well, the other day. It's okay, it's all right. You did fabulous! Fabulous! But I'm laughing, you know, because I not only think about my act anymore for the last 6 weeks, I think about their act. In fact, I was up most of the night, and I think they're doing a pretty fine job catching that other trapeze. What do you think, huh? This is leftover from the Eagles show, Bill. This isn't actually a comedy mic, but it's okay. It's working. We're good. Okay. So I'm trying to get set here, and you'll see why I have to be a little bit different in a minute. Okay, coming to the stage right now, you probably recognize these 2 gentlemen, some of you. I'm just thrilled to have them back and have them, this is the last act of the evening, so please enjoy every last minute of it, as I'm sure you will. Please give it up for the very funny Skip Party and Ed Lynn!
These are dangerous.
Yeah, really. This is fun. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dr. Skip Pardee. I'm a chiropractor. I've been here in Minden for 23 years.
And I'm Dr. Ed Lynn. I'm a psychiatrist, and I've been in practice for years.
So Ed, when you took this course, what, 9 years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
No, 8 years ago, I think you took it.
That's
I
8
took it
years
9
ago,
years
right.
ago. Yeah. What are we doing here? Golly, we're a glutton for punishment, aren't we?
Well,
God, I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
You know, as different as we are, we're pretty much the same because we both want to be real doctors. Just find out.
Ed! It's a stethoscope.
Yeah, it is.
You're a real doctor.
Yeah, I am.
You remember how to use it?
I used to. Now I just use it as a bolo tie.
So I'm a little worried about this whole thing, Ed.
What are you
I
worried
mean,
about?
what happens if they don't laugh?
Oh, that's true. It is easy to crack backs at the crack jokes, isn't it? Well, you know, if they don't laugh, I've got a surprise for them. You see, as a licensed physician in the state of Nevada, I have the power of the pen. And I can sign any one of you I want to away for 3 days. You think that's so In fact, you know, there's a mental health code in the state of Nevada that allows physicians to sign people away for 3 days against their will to a mental health facility. If you are danger to self, danger to others, or unable to laugh.
So Ed, really, you're really a shrink.
Yes, I am.
Is that professionally or physically?
How'd you get so big? Some manipulations there?
Ed, honest to God, I was about your size, and I went to a chiropractor, and look what happened to me.
Oh, come on.
Really, honest to God, really. Yeah.
How old were you when you did that?
8.
How old are you now?
Too old.
How old's that?
How old? You know, I'm so old now, Ed, that I can remember my toys said made in Japan.
Well, sadly, I'm a little older. My toys were made in the USA.
So Ed, you could have been anything. I mean, really. You went to medical school,
Yep.
you got your MD degree.
Yep.
You could have been an anesthesiologist,
Yeah.
or even a family doctor, or an orthopedic surgeon,
True.
a neurosurgeon,
True story.
and yet you became a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I did.
Why'd you do that?
Well, you know, in New York City, where I grew up, the definition of a psychiatrist was a Jewish doctor who was afraid of the sight of blood. Now, your patients don't bleed much either, do they?
The only time my patients bleed is when they get my bill.
Wow. You know, another thing that's the same for the two of us is we've both been in the military. And the military was good for both of us.
You know,
for most,
the military was
for the
good
most
for
part.
me. It really
But not
was.
always, not always.
Not always, no.
Yeah.
No. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Except one time.
What was that?
Basic training.
Oh, I remember basic training.
You know, but you'd think that getting up at 5 in the morning and everybody yelling at you and crawling through foxholes and things like that, you think that would be a bad piece of cake.
Hmm.
You know what the worst thing about basic training was?
What was that?
When you get to basic training, you're a civilian, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And you had civilian clothes on.
Yeah.
And then they take away everything.
Even your hair.
Even the hair. They take away your shoes and your socks and your pants and your undershirt and your shirt, and they take away your jockey shorts
Oh, yeah.
and they give you boxer shorts. You know what? A guy who all his life wore jockey shorts and is forced to wear boxer shorts, you know what he does?
What's that?
He walks around like this all day long.
I thought that's his line. I would dare embarrass myself in front of this guy.
Like, really, Ed, if you see a guy walking down the street like this, you can be sure that his wife just bought him boxer shorts. I guarantee you. If he wants to use a little discretion, he does this. You know what it's like marching with boxer shorts? Boing, 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 boing. All right, Ed, I know if it's you, it's bong, 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 bong.
That should be good for my reputation. He's just trying to make it up to me for calling me a shrink before. Yeah, you know, the military didn't support us very much, did they? How would you take care of it?
Take care of what?
Not being supported.
I'll tell you what. About the second week of basic training, I would have killed for a thong. I would have even taken a size 28. Honest to God.
I think we all should heed this, you know.
You ever treated a cop?
Yeah, you know, I have. Interesting case just recently. You know, with the holidays upon us, the police agencies have been setting up roadblocks, you know, to catch the drunk drivers. And I had this really interesting fellow. He was a highway patrolman who had severe dyslexia. And the poor guy, just recently, around Thanksgiving, almost lost his job. He set up a roadblock and he was doing IUD checks. You must have been taking care of some cops too. None of them may be committable tonight.
Yeah, right.
All right.
You ever see the paraphernalia these guys wear?
Oh, gee, yeah.
I mean, like RoboCop. I mean, unbelievable. I just cop come to my office one time, and it's just, I mean, he's got this belt, must weigh about 30 pounds, empty. And he's got a gun and handcuffs and keys and a radio and a big billy club and I mean, it's unbelievable. So I said, you need to take that stuff off and lay on the table here. So takes this big old belt off, lays it down, pulls his billy club out, walks over, lays on his back on the table, lays the billy club down, and I went, okay. So I went over and very gently put my hands on his neck. He puts his hand in the billy club, says, we're not going to hurt each other, are we? So you treat a lot of women and a lot of men too.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And really, is there really any difference between the two?
Oh, I'd say there's a vast difference. Hopefully anatomically sophisticated in the group who got that. You know, John Gray, a few years ago, wrote that bestseller book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. He was too kind to us. He puts us in the same solar system.
So what do you say? A woman comes in and she says, my God, Ed, Dr. Lynn, my husband's driving me crazy.
Well, if she's a golfer and she says, my husband is driving me crazy, I usually tell her, with you, sweetie, it's just a short putt.
So, you know, I come to you as a patient, and I don't like your diagnosis. I ask for a second opinion. What do you say?
You need a second opinion?
Yeah.
You're also ugly.
Is there an ICD-9 code for that?
Yeah, there isn't.
Oh, okay.
It's gold.
You know, in chiropractic, we kind of have a common theme. We adjust the spine. So, you know, we fall back on this. When all else fails, you adjust the spine. Is there kind of a common theme within psychiatry?
Yeah, well, I realign the mind while you readjust the spine. Our common theme is, you know, in psychiatry, if it's not one thing, it's your mother.
I see a lot of families in my practice. Do you see families in your practice?
I sure do. I sure do. You know, I don't knock dysfunctional families anymore. It's great job security. The other day, I got this call from this woman who said, you got to see my father and my siblings. We need to see you. It's an emergency. So I said, okay. And they convened the whole family in my office. And the oldest daughter was about to speak about her concerns about her dad's deviant behavior. But the old man beat her to the punch and he said, children, I want you to hear this from me first. I have fallen in love. This is 80-year-old gent. And his daughter gasps, she says, Dad, Mama, she's only been dead a few years. How could you? He says, look, I honor your mother. She was a wonderful woman. I've been lonely all this time. I've grieved her passing. Nobody will ever replace her, but I've fallen in love with this woman. And I must tell you, when we make love, I feel like a youngster again. She's 18 years old. And the daughter gasps again. She says, Papa, having sex with an 18-year-old could be fatal. The old guy scratches his head. He says, hey, look, if she dies, she dies.
So Ed, one of the hot topics in the media and TV everywhere is male sexual dysfunction.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and we both see it in our practice. You have the advantage, of course, because you've got all these miracle drugs that you can use. I don't.
And I share them with friends, too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Ed and I did a little experiment. Just before the show, we each took a Viagra.
I was hoping to be a better stand-up comedian.
Just a second, one check.
Get a grip, get a grip.
Get a grip, yep. You know what? It's made me a better straight man.
Well, in any case, we're both lucky stiffs to be here tonight. We're gonna stop now. I can't do this up anymore.
Professionally. In fact, Ed and I are doing a trade out for some pills. And I think the next time I come see you, Skip, I'm going to make you put on a little glove. One more time, Skip party and that's it. Please bring up Karen Burns, Patrick Lindgren, Jan Marie Brown, Ed Lynn, Skip Party, and Mark Frank McDowell. I don't hear it. Okay, JM, that would be you, Jan Marie Brown. She graduated with honors. E, Big E, that must be you. Especially after that Viagra, Big E. That's it. Frank McDowell. And SP, Skippy Party. RM must be Richard Lindgren, 17. And last but not least, the first to perform, Karen Burns. Now, also in their diploma is the whole front page of the People section last week. Did you see that? I'd like to thank the Record Courier for covering that. I'd like to thank Bill Henderson of the Carson Valley Inn. I'd like to thank Lindgren or Lindgren Videography for filming this for everybody tonight. If you're interested in taking a class, and I have it in me, it's always so scary, but they did great, huh? Take a bow. I have a little sign-up sheet on that yellow pad of paper. If you want to take a class, please put your name down and your email address or phone number or physical address, however I can get a hold of you. So one more time, thank you very much for coming down and spending the evening with us. I was real proud of them. You guys did fabulous. Thank you.